right, I have grabbed a baking sheet that is going to represent the tray for this activity. First of all of your wet ingredients are going to be measured into this bowl directly. And then I brought other equipment up to get other ingredients. So our wet ingredients are vegetable oil, sugar, vanilla, and the butter. So the butter needs to be melted back at your kitchen. So I brought this little bowl up here to melt the butter into. So when I collect this ingredient, I am simply going to stick it in the bowl. And chances are I'm already going to have this cut in the right amount for you on the table, and you just have to simply put it in your bowl. So let's measure all of our ingredients into this big bowl. We need 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Since we're using the itty bitty tiny liquid measuring cup, you're just going to get to the 2 tablespoons in here, and you don't have to be eye level with it. You can actually take it, here I'm going to put this where you can see me. You can actually take it and measure it from above. So I'm just going to pour until I get to 2 tablespoons. If this were a different measuring cup that didn't have the measurements on the inside of the cup, I would have to get eye level with it. So we are at 2 tablespoons. Next, we're just going to pour this directly into our large bowl because we're measuring all of our liquid ingredients into this bowl. So the next ingredient that we are going to measure is the sugar. I'm going to measure half a cup of sugar into this bowl, and I am going to level it off. There we go. Half a cup of sugar and level. Next wet ingredient would be a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I'm going to take a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I just left. My butter is melted. It just has a little bit that's not melted, so I can just swirl it a little bit to get it to melt the rest of the way. It only took me two 30-second rounds to melt this butter. So next I'm going to move on to step number 2, which says that I need to mix all of the wet ingredients with a wire whisk to combine. Then I need to add the egg, carefully so I don't get any shell in it. I'm going to dry my hands off with the towel, and then I'm going to stir to combine. Now my melted butter is pretty hot, so I'm going to add it very slowly so I don't cook up my egg. So you just drizzle it in there while you're mixing. This is called tempering. It's something we'll do in the high school. And you mix the whole thing in. As long as you're mixing pretty quickly and you're drizzling your butter, it should be totally fine. So next, I'm going to dump all of my dry ingredients into my sifter. And I'm going to alternate adding sifted dry ingredients and my wet ingredients. Your sifter looks different, and I don't have it in front of me to be able to show it to you. It's a white plastic sifter, and I think it has a little bit of red on it, and you squeeze the handle instead of doing what I will be doing, which will be twisting the handle. And you'll use a paper plate to set your sifter on whenever you're not using it instead of what I'm using. But it works. So sift about half of the ingredients into your bowl, like so. Set it on your paper plate, and then stir it up real good. It's going to get pretty thick, and that's okay. That's what we want. There we go. I didn't start stirring real good until my dry ingredients were mostly incorporated, so I didn't get flour all over the place. Now I'm going to add about half of my milk. I'm going to stir it up, gentle at first, because it's not going to want to seem like it wants to mix together. And then eventually it's going to start mixing together beautifully. Now I can go a little faster, then I'm not making a giant mess everywhere. Now I'm going to mix the other half of my waffle mix sifting it. The reason we're doing that is get the lumps and clumps out of there. And you'll notice there's some lumpies and clumpies down here that don't want to go down into the sifter. So I just use my hands, clean hands, to push it through the sifter holes. And I'm going to get the rest of what's on my paper plate in there as well. So now I'm going to stir very carefully again so I'm not making a giant mess everywhere. What are you doing, Faye?
Can I stir too?
Of course you may. Yeah, that was a bad thing that just happened. Now we're going to pour the rest of our liquids.
Can I do it?
You're going to help me stir in just a second,
I
okay?
can stir without your hand.
Well, I'll give it to you to stir without my hand in just a second.
Thanks.
Can you pick up some of that cereal you dropped everywhere?
So can you?
Thank you. So we were gentle again until allowed the milk to fully mix in. Now we are ready to start using this in our waffle mixer.
I did try to bite and it looked so good.
Oh boy, she tried to bite.
And it looked so
Okay.
good. That's delicious.
Delicious. No more bites, okay? Thank you for helping me stir. This is perfect. We're going to start turning this into a waffle now. Okay?
How to do it.
All right, so now we are going to, don't touch this, it's very hot, make our waffle. We're first going to spray the waffle iron.
Can I do it?
I don't want you to get too close to that waffle iron because I don't want you getting boo-boo. We're going to take our portion scoop, make it nice. I'm waiting for the light to turn off because I started out. She's licking waffle off my hand. I started off with mine turned on, so you guys will see it when you go to make your waffles. Nope, getting too close. Oh, did the light turn off?
Yay!
All right, say the light's off.
The light's off! The light's off!
Okay, so now we're gonna open her up. Don't touch. Now everybody should use a fork and a turner to help get it out of the waffle maker. Be telling you how many scoops. Well, you'll be doing 3 scoops to make 3/4 of a cup. And now we are going to close our waffle maker and we're going to unplug it and just let it cool off while we eat our waffles and clean up our kitchen all around us. At the very end, you're going to take a wet, damp rag and just wipe this out. You're not going to submerge this because it will break it. So just take a damp rag and just wipe it out to clean it off. But for the most part, you can see it's pretty clean. So that is waffle making. And Faye wants to eat this giant waffle. Hey, Faye, what do you want to put on it? Butter and syrup. Butter and syrup. Okay. We'll have plenty of fixings for you to add to your waffles. What do you think of it?
No, I don't like the white stuff.
Why don't you like the white stuff?
Because it's yucky.
That's whipped cream. You are just like your father, you know that? He does not like whipped cream either. Or have you decided you like the white stuff now? Okay.
I will eat all of the white stuff.